What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in to all you guys, man. All my supporters, all the real ones, all the OGs and shit. You know, they recognize my channel, so they're supporting. You know what I mean? And thanks for watching also all the fucking Wessy Wussy and all that sassy savvy. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, man, I can just imagine you motherfuckers just like hella pissed off and just hella fucking all gay about it and shit. But hey, at least you're watching my channel, so it's all good, you know. Yeah, so good looking out, good looking out. What do you call this? I've been getting a lot of good questions in my comments, and I haven't got a chance to answer a lot of them. I got a list of all the questions right here, but in this video right now, I'm gonna be talking about depression. You know, was I ever depressed in prison? Yes, of course I was. I was in fucking prison, and when I was a little kid, you know, starting at the 15 years of age, and yeah, drugs. Yes, I got myself into drugs. You know, so I'm gonna be sharing my experience, my story. You know, some people can relate. Some real ones. The G homies that did time, and you know, a lot of the homies are still in there, man. You know, but yeah, I gotta before I start, man. I just want to let you guys know. Also, I got a lot of homies lined up coming in. Um, we just haven't really got a good chance, but they're, you know, it's gonna take some time, but probably in a couple days or something. There's a lot of people like me. They got deported also. Not everybody stayed in America. If you're a Filipino, you know, you did time, whatever. Not everybody was U.S. citizen. Not everybody stayed right there. There's a lot of people like me right here in the Philippines, and some did 30 years, some did a lot of time, and some folks are just OGs, and I'm just reaching out, and I got a hold of them, and they're willing to share their story. You know, say what's up, tell everybody what's up and shit. What's, you know, what's the deal and shit. You know, and I appreciate that. You know, what do you call this? So right now, this video, I'm going to talk about, like I said earlier, about my drug addiction, because that's actually one of the good questions. There's a lot of questions, but I'm going to be talking about this right now. Let me start off with depression first. Like, when did I start feeling depressed in prison? Well, it already started at Silmar Juvenile Hall when I was facing time. Nobody really knows what time I was gonna get, because you know, you're going to court, you're pretty much detoxing because you came from the streets, you're fresh from the streets. You know, you was always smoking cigarettes, and now there's no cigarettes. You're just super sober and shit. So you know, you're going through a lot of things, and plus you gotta worry about all your enemies, because in the streets, it was hard. You know, you didn't give a fuck about anybody. You'll smash on anybody. So now you go to Silmar, everybody's here. So what's up? You know what I mean? So that's how, you know, that's what it is. And then what do you call this? Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, you know, because you never know what time you're gonna get. And I had my homies right there also on my time, during my timeline. I got the homie Amboy from the hood. He ended up getting like 47 years. The homie Bukol, I think he ended up getting like, I don't know, like 3 years or something. Because during that, he was one of the first one that got busted. He was lucky because he didn't get no gang enhancement, so he got away on that one. And then they got my homie Jumper too. They gave him 17 years. So everybody was getting a lot of time, and for me, I was like, damn, that's a long time. And I was, you know, fresh from the streets. I was already feeling my time. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I kept on. I kept on. There's no other option but, you know, keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? And because you see other people too, like, look at them. They're fucking. They're on the same boat as me. They're going through it also. You know, if they're hard, I'm hard too. You know what I mean? So, and plus, you know, we got pride, man. We ain't backing down for nothing. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, yeah. Fast forward. I got sentenced to. By the way, nobody really knows this, right? When I got sent, because everybody else already got sentenced back in Silmar. This is back in '03, and then I had a visit with my mom. She visited me. And by this time, everybody else from my hood, from my barrio, Jeff Rocks, they already left, and I was the only one left in there, still fighting my case, still hoping for the best. And my mom came and she visited me, and she told me that last news about my homeboy Jumper, because my mom and the homie's mom, they know each other, right? He said, what do you call this? She said, "Hey, Jumper got fucking 17 years," and I was like, "What the hell?" I'm trying to grasp that concept in my head as a little kid. I was like, that reality checking in. Damn, my homeboy just got 17 years. What do you think is gonna happen to me? You know what I mean? So right there at the visit on that table in Silmar Unit Z, as soon as she said that, I just like started feeling it. I started feeling it, and I couldn't help but break down and freaking cry in front of my mom, man. In front of my mom, not just in front of her, in front of everybody. Everybody was looking. I mean, they weren't like all nosy and shit, but like they were looking at me. I'm like weird. I'm like just crying and shit. My mom's were there. Don't trip. I'm not gonna leave you. You know, don't worry about it. Let's just hope for the best. You know. Um, yeah, I was sad. I was really sad that my homeboy Jumper. If you didn't know this, buddy, after you got sentenced, I found out. I cried, nigga. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So what do you call this? Yeah, man. So it sucks because I knew I was next. So, but hey, after that, I accepted the reality and I kept pushing, kept pushing. I was 15 years old, so imagine you as a 15 years old getting sentenced like that. But for me, it was normal because everybody else around me, a lot of them was getting life as a little kid, life in prison, the real life in prison, adult life, So it was like, man, you gotta get your shit together, homie. So you started gangbang, you better be gang banged out. There's no quitting, there's no backing down. That's not even an option, dog. So, but anyway, so I go to YA, and right there, there's a lot of enemies too. Like fuck, man. There's no backing down. You gotta get down with all your enemies, man. Though, and not just your enemies. Anybody that calls you out, anybody that don't like you, anybody that thinks you're a fucking punk or you're not gonna fight back and trying to fucking test you, then you just. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I learned a lot of shit in YA, a lot of psychological thing because in YA, it's funny because a lot of kids right there. Uh, some are just really faking the funk, trying to act hard, trying to intimidate people. It's funny. And then they ended up being a bitch, pretty much. And yeah, it's funny. I learned a lot of shit. But yeah, like I said, backing down was never an option. I remember this one time in OH when I was in Hawaii. Um, what do you call this? I accidentally cracked ears for the Bloods. So I got a lot of Bloods. I gotta get down with a gang of Bloods, man. It wasn't on purpose. It was accident. But there's no. It don't matter if it's accident or not. You cracked ears, somebody here. You gotta get put on a light. So I had it lined up, man. I got it. I had it lined up. I was gonna get down with a lot of fucking Bloods over there. They wanted to catch my fade, and you can't say no to that. You know. In the Y, what do you call this? Um, there's two options. You can get down in the opens. You can get down in the blinds. So, in this case, in my building, they got two of the main the rep for the Bloods on my building, and those two dudes, for, man, they were big, man. They were like probably 6'5" or I don't know. They were big, and the other guy's big, and the other guy's big too, and his muscle looks exaggerated, you know. But yeah, but backing down is not an option. Like I said, I'm from Jeff Rocks. You know what I mean? I'm a youngster from Jeff Rocks, but yeah. What do you call this? So tomorrow we already talked about it. We're gonna get down on the blinds, man. We're gonna get down on the blinds. So at nighttime I was thinking, man, I couldn't hardly get no sleep because I was like, how am I gonna do this, man? I'm gonna get beat up. Two of those guys, fuck, man, they're kind of big. How am I gonna win this? So I'm overthinking it, and then I'm talking to myself. I'm 16 years old at this time. I was already 16. All I know was, hey, fuck this shit, homie. Like, you know what I mean? I'm talking to myself, man. You know what to do. Get that shit. You know. So the next morning, on the showers, on the showers, they got the utility room, the equipment room right there. So like, I check it out. So this was gonna happen. We gonna get out and shit on the blinds. What's up then? Yeah, yeah. I don't give a fuck. The homies know about it. You know. There's the Asian homies, my Asian homies, they know about it, and they're just like, they can just gonna watch out because ain't really nobody trying to get caught and shit. Um, what do you call this? By the way, in YA, if you guys don't know, in the blinds, anything goes, man, because that's the blinds. That means the police are not watching. So just do your thug thizzle, do whatever you can and shit, right? So yeah. So the first one that I got down with, uh, uh, from Magnolia. I still remember his face. I know he remembered me good and shit. You know what I mean? What do you call this? They were really trying to intimidate me, man. They were really trying to intimidate me, but you know, hey, they don't know my background and shit. You know, where I came from, like fucking, like how I grew up and shit. So, but anyways, so he's the first one that I got down with and shit. As soon as I was in there first, waiting. I see the broomsticks in there. Should I use a broomstick? Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna go head up. I'm just gonna rush this fool. Whatever happens, happens. Excuse me. So uh, as soon as he came in, what do you call this? As soon as he came in, I front kicked his ass. I might as well, right? So I did a cool ass front kick. To those who don't know, man, when I was a little kid in the Philippines, I got into karate school, so I know some shit. So, but anyways, I front kicked his ass and I tried to rush him, but somehow he was stronger and he was, you know, I guess he was faster too. After a few punches, he dropped me. Um, as soon as he dropped me, I got back up as soon as I can because I'm not trying to get stomped out. So I got back up again, started rushing him again. For some reason, he dropped me again and shit, man. And then after he dropped me, I got up again and started rushing again. And he was like, hey, that's it, that's it. I'm like, well, fuck it, you know. That was fast, that was cool. So he got the next guy again. The next guy was the next blood dude was even bigger than him. So he came in there. I was like, fuck, I know what to do this time. You know, front kick again. So he came in there. He was surprised because as soon as he came in there, I front kicked him right away. Bam! You know, he kind of stepped back, and I tried to rush him as best as I can. And then secondly, I was doing better on the second one on the bigger guy. I was really hanging him for a while. Caught him a few times, but my punches wasn't that strong during that time. He caught me too, but somehow his shit wasn't really even that strong either and shit. And we ended up wrestling each other and shit. And he was like, "Alright, that's good, that's good. Alright, that's for sure then. So that's good." So anyways, we came out. You know, every time I get out, I get down on the blinds. I come out like my head fucking high and shit. Like, you know, what's up, man? I'll go all the way, man. I don't give a fuck. And then we shook hands. We shook hands. Hey, it's all good, man. Cause they were the rep for the Bloods. That's it. You don't gotta fight nobody at school no more and shit. That's good enough. Alright, for sure. Then you know it is what it is. Uh, so yeah. So to all the people was talking about, I never took a loss. Yeah, I took I took loss too. For what you think? I'm a big guy and shit. You know. But yeah, this is YA, and I was during those times. I was still worried about my enemies coming in, pulling up from reception. I gotta take off, and there's a lot of fucking. You know, I got sentenced to 14 years. So I gotta go to the pinta. I gotta go to the pin. I was worried about. I was overthinking a lot of things, but at the same time, I still trying to keep a positive attitude and trying to be happy at the same time. You know what I mean? So those were my first time I was getting depressed. The second time I got depressed was how do you say this? Oh yeah, that war that I was telling you about at Current Valley, because you never know. Also, you could die. You could literally freaking die and shit. But I'm not gonna get into the details because I already talked about it. Some people they know about it. They know how it is when you go to war. There's no telling if you're gonna survive or not. So, but like I said again, backing down is never an option. You know what I mean? And that's how you're gonna find out real character if you're a real one or not. Because I'm gonna use my homie as an example. I got a homie from the hood. Uh, he's a dolphin, man. Straight up, that's his weakness. What do you call this? Yeah. So he's racking up debts, man. He's racking up debts wherever he goes, and then he's just gonna take the stabbing. What do you call this? But that's the G homie though. That's the G homie. He ended up, from what I know, he ended up getting stabbed in 3 different yards. I don't know about now. I don't know if there's more. I'm not sure if he defeated this weakness, but he never locks it up, man. And I see a lot of other fools that got a weak ass mind and shit. They do a lot of dope and they ended up locking it up quick. Some people they don't lock it up until the first stabbing, second stabbing they lock it up, and then some people don't lock it up until the second stabbing, third stabbing they lock it up. And some fucking punks they just lock it up as soon as they hear they're gonna get stabbed. So it just depends on the character if you're fucking scared or not, man. So do drugs at your own risk, man. In the pen. So that's up to you if you want to get into that. But if you just want to like mind your own business, don't do no fucking drugs. Don't get involved. Just do your thug tizzle and shit. But this is for the folks that are in the mix. That are in the mix. Hey, we don't know if they're really trying to quit or not, or they're just because everybody, all man got weaknesses. It don't matter who you are. So I'm gonna be talking about that because there's I got some good questions. One of the questions in the that I wrote down was, hey, you mentioned before in some of your, what do you call this? Some of your videos that you were slamming. You were slamming Carga, you were slamming Chivas. If you guys don't know, that means heroin and crystal meth, Scante, White, Go Fast, Yeah, I was doing all of that. And they're wondering, like, how did you beat that? How did you defeat that? One freaking word. You want to know the secret? It's called discipline. Because according to a AANA, what happens when when you slam dope or when you do drugs is that what do you call this? A huge amount of dopamine and endorphin, the feel good hormones, releases all at one time in your brain, and your receptors they can only catch so much of the dopamine. So what ends up happening is you ruin the receptor. Some of them dies out because there's too much dopamine getting released all at once. So that's how you get addicted. It's kind of hard for you now to get happy on a simple food that makes you happy, that because when you eat food you also release dopamine, and then when you work out you release dopamine. But within years and years of soberness and discipline and working out, you're starting to create new receptors for your brain in order for you to balance out the dopamine or the endorphins that you release when you do the drugs. So that's how you defeat the addiction. I don't know if you kind of get what I'm trying to say, but yes, one word, like I said, discipline. It's a consistent thing. It don't matter what the fuck you feel that day, kind of thing. You're just gonna do what needs to be done. That's what discipline is. Because your body is gonna tell you, your body is weak by nature, but you have to be stronger than that. And how was I doing this? I try to self-evaluate myself first. What are my weaknesses? For instance, in the pen, what are jacking off, masturbating? That's You release dopamine, you release endorphin when you do that. You relieve some stress, and those are some of the things that you can't do because you still can't do while being alive. And thus, I was doing that, and that became a weakness also. Uh, what do you call this? I tried to challenge myself. Like I would tell myself, All right, that's my word. No freaking busting a nut, no jagging off for a week, something like that. And then I would freaking after like 2 3 days, I went out. Ah man, you fucking up on your word, fool. You know what I mean? So I check myself, and throughout the time when I say something, my word, this is what I'm gonna do, and that's what's gonna happen. I ended up defeating all my weakness, man. How, like, again, how do you do it? Discipline. That's the freaking word, man. You just gotta fucking do it despite of what you feel. That's what discipline is. It's consistency, like a robot, every fucking day. Fuck your feelings. It's not about your feelings. It's what you need. What's what you need to do. That's what discipline is. So that's how you defeat addiction. That's how you defeat everything, any kind of weakness that you may have. But you gotta self-evaluate yourself. I respect the smart homies, the smart guys that know themselves. They know themselves that if they start doing this, for example, they start doing drugs, heroin or crystal meth, they know themselves enough not to even start it. Because when you start it, they're not sure if they can come back from it. You know. So I respect those guys, man. Don't fucking start it if you're not sure. But because you're playing with fire, man, you're gonna challenge yourself. You're gonna start something you're not even sure if you can get out. And I seen a lot of folks, man. They can't in the pen, in the prison. Excuse me. They started it, and a lot of them, they couldn't get out. They get themselves into wreck, and most of the time they ended up piecing it up. Biggest guy, buffest guy that you ever see, that you would think that's fucking hard, like that big ass bitch on YouTube. You know who that nigga is. But the fuckers like that, they piece it up. If you can recognize, if just a regular civilian, you would think that, oh my, but he's buff, so that means he's strong, he's tough. Nah. Obviously you don't know anything. You know what I mean? Have you been to war? Have you been to prison? Have you been in the same fucking position to be speaking up on shit? I don't think so. So shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Yeah, that West is sassy. That shit is funny as fuck. And Sassy Savvy too is in the mix, because I got them haters over there, but I ain't tripping. But yeah, man, so to those that can relate, you know what I'm talking about. That's how you build addiction, and that's what happened to me throughout the years. Sharing my little experience. One of the things that kind of woke me up was that when I was on Calipat on the regular kitchen, the police right there, we call this. I already said her name. The one that got beat up by a bunch of folks. The Haina, the girl. Yeah, man, she was there, and I got my homie Big Oos right there. It was at the kitchen, and at that day, for some fucking reason, I fucked up, and I kind of put too much of that fucking black on the spoon, and it was more than I can handle. I was fucked up. I was working, and I told Oos, "Hey, my bad, Oos. Just watch out for me and shit. I'm gonna go take a nap or lay down here real quick." So in the kitchen, under the little thing where the workers at passing out food, I was under that fucking table, man, laying down. I was too fucked up, and then the police was looking at me, kept looking at me. She don't know if she gonna tell me to get up and work, but I told her to hold on, man. And she already know I was fucked up. And ever since that day, I checked myself. That's not gonna happen again. It's not gonna happen again. So and I did my best to do it. And when I said I did my best, what I mean was I really fucking did it, and I never did it again after that. So I hope you guys learned something about my, I don't know, what do you call this? My experience about addiction and defeating my weaknesses and stuff like that. Also depression. There's a lot of different kinds of depression. If you really want to get technical, some of the homies, they get technical with that shit. Clinically depressed, cry for help, stuff like that. But of course, with discipline, you can defeat all that, man. There's no shortcut. There's no other way around it. You just gotta fucking do it. I came up with this this line in the pin is called Nike it out. I just made it up. Nike it out. That means just do it, despite of what you feel. So I can't stress that enough. You just gotta do what you gotta do. What you gotta do. That's how you defeat it. Before I forget, of course, to those who don't know, meditation. That's another word. That's what you guys should do and learn how to do. How did I even learn that? What the hell is meditation? How did I learn that in the first place? By going to a lot of Buddha service. A lot of the homies, we go to the Buddha service. That's how I learned that. And some of my celly too, they were doing that. They were even doing that Tai Chi stuff. They were teaching me everything. They were teaching me a lot of things. As a young kid, I was learning everything as I can. So this is where I got all that from. And I want to share it to you guys. I want to share my experience. So hopefully you guys learned something from this little video, on this little episode. Like I said, guys, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. Everyone, you guys, good looking out. To all the real ones out there, good looking out, man. Hitting me up, support, and everything. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I got a lot of homies coming in. It's just a matter of time. In the meantime, I got a lot of questions to answer. I got a lot of other topics too. But I answered at least 2 questions for today: the depression thing and the drug addiction. Hopefully that shed light and made you guys understand. If you get any more questions, just keep at it, man, on the comment section. Good looking out, man. Cut this off right now. So say what you mean and mean what you say, homie, because real recognize real, homeboy. Out of here.